Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 32 of our Let's Play series, Stalingrad to Berlin, War in the East 2. In this episode, we're going to be going through turn 17 ground phase from about the Leningrad area of our front down to Orel, as we usually do. You'll note that we skip past the air phase again. We've been doing this recently to try to save time, as we've been having about 2 hours per turn worth of just ground combat content. And we continue to be faced with heavy snowfall or blizzard-like conditions in the air, and we are preserving our air force at this time. So we have moved past that phase off camera. To jump right into it, in the previous turn, we had managed to take these two hexes here from the Germans, and it was very useful because it also lowered the fortification levels to 0. You'll note that the Germans have taken them back, and when we look at a battle history, there are 3 different points along the front that they actually attacked. They were successful in these 2 hexes, where we actually had an infantry division rout, and over here, we had an infantry division retreat. So they managed to attack with 2-to-1 odds here. There was no fortification level, so that was a pretty difficult thing for our forces to defend against. I think we're probably going to try and counterattack again and try to keep putting pressure on those forces. When we look to the right, we see they also tried to get rid of our pocket that we've created here, and we managed to easily hold back their advance. So hopefully we can now use this to our advantage in a bit of a counterattack against their forces. So looking first at these 2 hexes here, we see they have a defense value of 1 and 20 and 5. We're probably not going to be able to break through the unit that has a 20 defensive value this turn, even though they don't have any fortification level. Looking here, we have a rifle corps and a rifle division, and we also have the Leningrad fortress. In this hex, we have 3 rifle divisions, and what I think we might do is try to push through in this hex using the 136 rifle division, and that should easily enough push them out of there. Yep, they retreated. And now what I want to do is take my first rifle corps. Oh, that's going to put them to 0, though. That's going to literally push them to their furthest extent. I don't know if we want to do that. So this turn, instead of actually moving into the 2 hexes, we're just going to push them out, I think. Let's also now take a look to see if we can't push back here, as they only have a defensive value of 5. And to help with that, we're going to look to this stack and the 256 rifle division we will bring up. And we will also do the 10th rifle division. And now with both of these stacks, we're going to go ahead and attack, and this is 4-to-1, and they retreated. So we had pretty successful operation there. What we might do is take this 2nd rifle corps and bring them into this hex, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to take the 2nd rifle corps, move them there, and then we'll take the 372nd rifle division and move them up. So this gives us a defensive value of about 50 in this hex, which is more than enough to counter anything they may try to throw at us. In the hex that we left, we still have a defensive value of 20, which is going to end up being a little bit less than 2-to-1 odds for them. So we're going to move up the 198th Rifle Division just to help reinforce a little. They're too dug in here for us to really break through. But I'm hoping what this sets us up for is that next turn, we can take the combined arms of these 3 hexes and force them out of this hex, or that they will simply decide that, you know what, now is the time to retreat. We have no fortification levels in any of these hexes. It's time to get out of Dodge. I'm hopeful that's going to be their decision-making process in the next turn or 2. We're also going to take this 128th Rifle Division, and we're just going to move them back up closer to the front line to help with that breakout. Here we have our HQ units. Those can stay right where they're at. Let's see if we maybe need to look, though, at which depots everyone's being supplied from. So here, it looks like a number of our units are being supplied from these 2 depots. And I think we're going to keep all the HQ units right there still, even though we may get some benefit by moving one of them to this depot because it's supplying some of those units. We also have units over here from that same army that are being supplied. So we're going to leave that just as it is, and we'll take off the depot and the supply route modes. Again, the shortcut keyboard keys for those are N to show the depots, And the number 8 shows you where each depot is being supplied from, and that's the white line. And then the red line shows the units, the divisions, the brigades, etc. that depot is then supplying. So this stack is being supplied from this depot. Moving right along, you see they're very dug in a couple of these hexes. We're not going to have any luck there. We're just going to continue holding the line as we have been. But down here to the south, we continue to have opportunity to try to break through. So what we might do is look to see if there's not any standout units like an infantry corps or something that we can move down south. Looks like they're just rifle divisions though. So we might leave everyone right where they're at for now. We don't quite have enough to break through here with their defensive value of 6, which is unfortunate. And we have 19 versus their 17. So that's not going to be enough either. But if we take you, the 382nd, if we I'm thinking we might need to disband these machine gun artillery units here. They do have mortars, but only a couple of field guns. It actually looks like others have been damaged. I don't know. This is a very light artillery. I think it might be better just to have those forces actually disband and the men go into the resource pool. And then what we will end up doing is that would give us more room to move down infantry divisions to help reinforce this line. Yeah, and it only adds 1.5 to our defensive value, so we're going to go ahead and disband that unit. Also disband you. I'm just going to go through and get all of these disbanded. Probably could have done this a turn or two ago, but we'll do it now. Disband. So this then adds a couple thousand men to the pool, some equipment, etc. Instead of just having this static line of defenses there with those units. So let's now sit here and go through where we can maybe move some of these units down south. So like the 6th rifle, actually the 71st rifle is the one I probably want to move. We're going to move you down here. And then conversely, that's going to allow, let's see, so we move down the 71st rifle. Let's now take the 310th rifle. We're going to move you here, right? I think that works out nicely. That ski brigade really helps this unit too. And then the 382nd Rifle Division, we will move you down here. We're going to build up then to try to break through this unit in the next turn or two. The 6th Rifle, we will also move on down. Defensive value 21. Yep, so that's plenty to defend there. And then this 376 rifle will move down. And the 327th we will also move down. Right, so just kind of shuffling the units on down the line. Defensive value of 30 against their 40, so we can hold out just fine there. So the next turn, I think that's going to put us in a pretty good position to attack. Right now, we don't quite have 2-to-1. Next turn, I think we will. We can also move them up here. Yeah, it's pretty close to 2-to-1 already. We attacked here. Wonder... So let's see, the 52nd Army. What support units exist for the 52nd Army? Not many, huh? We will give them this separate tank battalion. And we'll add the ski brigade. Now that gets us to about 2-to-1, but their fortification level is 3. I didn't even notice this. Look, there's another hex we can move into. My goodness, that's what we're going to do. We're going to move down here with some of these units. Yeah. And then we will take the 377th down. There we go. That really opens it up for us. We'll even take the 2nd rifle down here. Yep. So now, next turn, we're going to be able to attack with these 5 units. We get you down here. Doesn't look like it. That exhausts you, so we'll leave you there. Alright, good. But you see, we are so close now to connecting these 2 armies. And they've actually, it would appear they've given up on trying to even stop us here, right? Look, they've just abandoned some of these hexes. Let's take some of the stronger units we have here. We're going to, well, we don't even have 1-to-1 with that. We can get those 2 units up. That should help a lot. So let's take the 188th Rifle Division. We're going to pull you off the line. We'll bring up the 52nd. And then let's get the 220th off the line. Bring up the 43rd Guard. And the 274th we'll also take back. And bring up the 380th. So now, yeah, not quite 2-to-1, but I still like those odds. We're gonna, let's see what support units we've got. Motorcycles aren't gonna do much in the middle of a blizzard. Anti-tank regiment, I don't know they're gonna have tanks. So we'll leave them. You're part of the 11th Army. We can attach some rifle brigades to you, though. Alright, now let's attack. And we were successful. That is a huge win for us. So we don't have enough to move up. But we can move these guys back. And now, so close to being able to make it up there. You can, though. As can you. There we go. We have broken through their lines. This is going so well. Let's now take you up here. So we're going to get a full stack there. Bring up the artillery. Actually, let's do this. 26 can move up there. Just bring up the artillery to help defend against the counterattacks. We will move up probably these 2 rifle divisions here. Don't quite have enough to make it through there, do we? In the 370th? Yeah, 370th, we can go there. It still doesn't give us an opportunity to get up there. Let's take the 375th up here. And then we're going to move pretty much this stack here. And then we're going to take reinforcements from the rear to fill in that hole on the line. Look at this. We have this brigade unit. They can come up here and we can take them off refit. Rifle division. 282nd can make it here. Boy, we are just cruising. Absolutely cruising. 354th can make it through as well. And I think that's probably where we're going to be limited. So let's take the strongest we've got here, which is probably the, let's do the 254th, I think. So you are, just from a spot check, your TOE's not great. So are you a little better off? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, you're actually worse. So we will just take you there then. Okay. The breakout is beginning. This is going to cause them so much trouble. So if we can do a quick blitz to Pskov, then that means any type of retreat they want of these units has to go through this peninsula here, which really slows down their route and gives us time to ultimately cut them off at Riga. So I'm optimistic here. 57, we're not going to break through that, so instead we're going to look to see, okay, where on the front can we push through? And we might have a chance here with their defensive value of 10. If we can get a stronger unit up here. Don't have anything too strong though, do we? Those rifle divisions aren't doing that great. Yeah, like look at this guy here. 28% of his rifle squads. That is horrible. Where's the nearest depot? Up there? Is everyone being supplied from that? Pretty much. So I guess we're just going to have to put you here for now. We will draw you back as well. Some of these units are just really hurting. Didn't know it was quite so desperate, so the 253rd is going to have to come up here and help. Yeah, okay. This guy can move up. Right? Even take him all the way up there, I think. Same with you. And same with you. Right, make sure we all stay in range. You can come up here. You are an infantry division, not HQ. That was my fault. You can stay right where you're at. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we can take this hex. That's 2-1. Let's do it. They retreated. Okay. Good news. So now this unit really is sitting there isolated. Down here, we're just going to keep holding the line. This has been much more successful around Lake Ilmen than I had thought, but this is exactly what I was hoping for. And look at that. We are 1 hex away from connecting these two armies. And again, the whole point here was that with Lake Ilmen, there is a total of, say, 6 or 7 hexes they didn't have to defend because of the geography. Now this entire clump of armies we had built up can stretch out and force them to defend the entire line, and you can see how already they can't manage to do that. This is going quite well. Down here, yeah, so you look at these guys, they have not seen any combat. They have been in 1 battle, but their TOE is at 70%, which is just probably all due to attrition. Right? That's how tough it is living up here on this line. It also means, just to be fair, that it's that difficult for the German forces that are sitting across the no man's land of the foxholes and trenches as well. Down here, we're not going to be able to push through in this hex, or here even, but we could have some luck in these 2 hexes here. So I think what we will do, if I remember right, we had some stacks here that were really kind of higher on the fatigue a couple of turns ago. Things are looking better. Let's maybe take... I wanted... trying to think how to do this. We're gonna keep this rifle division unselected. This rifle corps. Wow, that's not good. That's bad. These rifle brigades are in better condition. Yeah. So we're going to take that rifle corps off the line and get them into a refit status with their HQ unit. Where's the nearest depot? Down here. And that's where they're getting resupplied from. But I don't want to move the HQ all the way back there. So we're going to move the HQ here. We're going to bring the rifle corps back to the HQ and set them to refit. And this unit is also on refit, but I don't think their condition is as bad. So we're going to turn them back. I must have forgotten to do that. And we're going to take... Actually going to take this rifle division. It's not great, but it's better. We're going to move them up. And we will move up the... Is this the one that was hurting? No, we were fine. Yes, let's see if we just attack here. They retreated. Okay. Can we now take that rifle brigade and make it there? It doesn't like it. That rifle division can't make it either. This rifle division can get into that hex. Can the... Yeah, both the rifle divisions here can. No? Just one of you? Yeah, let's move you up there. Neither of you can make it. What's your defensive value? 2.3. Ooh, I've put you in a tough spot. Put you in a tough spot. So let's see if any support units can help you out. Let's attach this ski brigade. Yeah, that really helps. Taking a look at them. Yeah, supply's not too bad for them. Fatigue's a little on the higher side. They've had 7 wins though. Look at that. 7 wins, 0 losses. The elements here. Fatigued pretty bad. Okay. Well, best of luck to them here in the next turn. Let's see if we can't take this stack and push through here. That should alleviate then the pressure. Yep, so they retreat it. Do I then take up this rifle brigade maybe? I think so. Down here, I don't really have an interest in going through this rough terrain hex with 42 defensive value on that unit. I am perfectly fine moving my units and stretching north of them and forcing them to kind of, to an extent, chase. This mechanized unit, I think we had pulled them back for a reason. They're actually looking okay. So I might move them up here to reinforce that hex then. That should help them. Okay. These are fine, these are fine. Down here we had had a lot of advances. Did they counterattack at all? They did counterattack right here during their turn, but we managed to hold. We took some heavier losses, but we eliminated their attachment of armored fighting vehicles, which were Stugs. So that's good. We had moved up this tank corps in the previous turn, and I'm actually going to listen to myself here. We're going to let them rest a couple turns and build up combat prep. Strange concept, I know, but we're going to let them rest and get back and resupply, and they're just going to sit there. Where we have an opportunity to advance, we will advance, but we're not going to go gung-ho crazy pushing through here. So defensive value on these guys is very high because we've got a couple of rifle corps. And I think we'll take the 8th Rifle Corps and we'll move them up into this hex. And back here we have this 28th Rifle Division. How are they doing? They're not bad. Can they move up there too? No, that would exhaust them. So let's then take the other rifle. No, that's going to exhaust them too. Trying to think of what we can move there to help them. Defensive value of 18 is actually pretty good. 12, 18, don't know what's there entirely. Don't know if I can actually, I can attack. Do Don't know it's going to be worth pushing them there. I'm not taking the 1st Tank Army, I'm just seeing what other units are here. This Rifle Division looks like they're okay. Just a little paranoid lately with checking some of these to make sure that I didn't pull them back for some reason that I'm forgetting about. That Rifle Division can't make it. Whereas there can't either. The 2nd Tank Corps, part of the 5th Army, I don't want to stretch them any more than they already are. So let's just take a look, maybe attach a support unit to help them out a little. And let's attach to them one of those ski brigades. I'm really liking the ski brigades. And I don't think the end of winter is the time to make more ski brigades, but I think going into next winter, we're probably going to leverage them a little more. So that should ensure that we can hold that hex, I would think. Unless they've got some Panzer division sitting in the rear that we don't have recon on and they pull them up. We should be able to hold that. I want to see if maybe we can't push up into this hex too. Because my thought is if we can push back here, force them out, then we're only facing off against 12 combat value attack. So let's move up this Rifle Corps. Move up that Rifle Division. And this Rifle Division, I think we already checked it, but yeah, you're doing okay. So we're going to move you up. So now we have plenty in defense there against what they have mustered. The 5th Army, I'm hesitant to push them as they're already at half fatigue. They've never had a chance to really recover. So let's see if we take just the 948th Rifle Division. We have this artillery too. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Let's try pushing them back. We can't. Okay. Move the artillery here. About now. There you go. And we captured the depot. That is wonderful news. It really is wonderful news. Rifle Division doesn't have enough to move up. I'm betting you the Tank Corps would though. Yeah, it does. That's tempting, isn't it? I feel like we've done that little routine before. Oh yeah, send the Tank Corps forward. I don't think we're going to this turn though. 3rd Guard Tank Corps though. How about you? It is so tempting to break through though. We're gonna do it. Caution to the wind, we're gonna do it. And then if we take both of you and try to just crush you. Yeah, they rout it. Okay. Is it worth looking at saying, hey, can we push you back? I think we might do that. Let's take all of you and attack here. They held. Damn it. We did it again. We don't have enough. Okay. Defensive value there is 10. That's enough against a 7. Well, time to do what we usually do. Let's see what we can attach to you. Already attached everything to you. We have nothing else available in the 5th Tank Army. Where is the 5th Tank Army? HQ. Let's find them here. I'm actually going to assign them some railroad construction brigades to try to help with railroad repair there. But that was not what I was hoping for. What do we have back here? This Rifle Brigade, can you come up? Tank Corps can make it there. It's not a surprise, of course. 16% supplies. Ah, that's awful. This 117th Rifle Division can come up. that just makes sense to do, I feel. Do you have any other hidden gems like that? We have the Rifle Brigade here. We'll bring them up to reinforce this line. And this Rifle Brigade, I think we will bring down here too. So I want to make sure we hold this hex as well. And now with those new forces, if we did attack, no, not even 1-to-1. You know, I think 16% supply. I just can't, can I? That's where the depot is. Can any of you move down there? I forgot to check. No, you can't. Mechanized can move down here. If I move the mechanized. What's the mechanized defensive value? 23? We're going to move you down. That should give us enough to hold out. Then right here we know fine because you're pretty well dug in. Not dug in terms of fortification level, just you already have a defensive value of 20. So I think that should be fine. Tempted to bring this stack up here, but their supplies are already in such a state I don't want to necessarily. Do you have any units on refit that I forgot to take off? Doesn't look like it. Okay. So we didn't have as much progress towards Adritsa than we have in previous turns. Well, it's not entirely true. We did take these 4 hexes, 5 hexes. So that's something, I suppose. But we didn't have any major breakthroughs. I do think that after we've given the first tank army another turn or two to get supplies, I think that will really help the situation. And I'd completely forgotten about the 4th Guards army that we have moved down from Stalingrad. My goodness, how could I have done that? And even though I'd forgotten them, though, I'm not going to put them into the front line and attack. We're going to take this stack here, move them up to this hex. We're just going to get these guys all off the trains. And marching. Because using so much of the rail line here really has just killed the supply situation, I think, in this pocket. Fortunately, that is not something that recovers in one turn. Bit of a slow move down, but it's going to be worth it to get them to the front. And with them, them plus the 5th Tank Army, that's really going to let us push past Adritsa. Moving on to Smolensk. Let's see what happened here last time. So they counterattacked here, then retreated because we managed to hold them. We actually took heavier losses than they did, but it looks like their motorized division lost some of their armor elements, it looks like. So they lost 9 Panzer IVs. That's fantastic news for us. We lost 13 T-34s. Oh, I'm sorry, the second one I think was just, observation by Luftwaffe units. Over here, they counterattacked and we successfully held. More great news. And the losses in men were pretty equal. Losses in guns were pretty equal. Losses in tanks were not equal. But you see that we have pretty much depleted all of their armor elements here. And this is another one of those situations where we have stacks that have 274 armored fighting vehicles. They don't have many of those left. So they lost a combination of Panzer IVs, Panzer IIIs, and some SP guns like the Stug 3s and Martyr 2s. We only lost 2 KV-1s and 2 Su-122s. Matildas were a British Lend-Lease tank that the Soviets had gotten. And then it looks like we lost a number of T-70s, T-34s, etc. Let's actually look at some of that ground combat. And I want to see how effective those KV-1s were. And it looks like they are primarily used against lighter elements like infantry, because the majority of their fire was with HE shells. But they had a total of 42 hits at a range of 139, which is kind of the distance we want them to stay out at. And then this is fires per element and hits per element. You remember we talked about that in a previous episode. So for each of the KV-1s, they recorded 3 hits. So that's pretty good. Looks like we did have 2 AP hits with them, which clearly then didn't drive the results of the 29 there. Looks like it was probably the T-34s, which is our kind of workhorse unit. So that makes sense. So I think a very good result for us there. And they were then forced to pull back. Looking in Smolensk now, this hero unit, the 5th Guards Mechanized Corps, that I wish there was some way I could like give them an in-game decoration or honor or something, because they were heroes to the Soviet Union by capturing Smolensk. I think we will use them to try to push back this unit here. We were unsuccessful. That surprises me. Okay. Well, now that we've done that, let's make sure we get some reinforcements into Smolensk pronto. So we're going to take the 8th Guards Rifle Corps. We want to get infantry units and cavalry units into the city, so then our mechanized units can instead be used for breakouts. So let's take... wondering if we take this stack and move them down here. I think so. And let's now have them attack. They retreat it this time. Good. And now what we will do is take things like the 322nd Rifle Division and move them up. 9th Tank Corps. Yeah, I'm going to take some of these and actually keep pushing through here. Because we have this opening, the 1st Mechanized. Can we get you up? No. Goodness, why are so many of you able to get up there? Surely you make that. Can I retreat you? No. Find myself doing this a lot, and they now have 71 fatigue and only 3 defensive value against overwhelming odds against them. Which is just not good. I'm stunned that none of these units can make it there. We're gonna move you there. So now it's 7. What else do we have up here? We have 32, it's not enough. Over here we have the 8th Tank Corps. You can make it. Maybe we move up the 8th Tank Corps. Let's do that. So they are still heavily outnumbered, but at the very least now there might be a fight. Which might be as much as we can ask for here. Let's take the 8th Tank Corps and see what we can assign to you. Nothing. Anti-tank regiment, we'll do that. And then let's take a look at the 5th Guards. And Tank Brigade, but they're only at 80 TOE, so we're going to leave them be. 33rd Army. Have here 2nd Guards Anti-Tank Regiment. We'll attach you. Okay. So getting more support units to our HQs might be something we will touch on in the next episode, time allotting, because we are seeing that with a number of our armies, we're running out of support units that can come into the fray. But that is something that we can address through game mechanics, so it's not like it's a situation we can't get out of. Let's maybe move up this entire stack here. So that is plenty to defend. I wonder now we can take all of you. Yeah, we don't even have 1-to-1 there. Now we're going to take this rifle brigade, this division, I think. Hey, you're fine. Let's take you and move up here. In Smolensk, we have plenty of defense because of the city's fortification, so not worried about that necessarily. Look, a mechanized unit. Let's move you up to Smolensk to be ready to assist further breakouts as they happen. So it was risky to have put ourselves here, but remember, one of the reasons is now next turn, they have to defend this hex, and if they don't, then we can keep coming in behind them, right? We can keep forcing their hand to do movements that they don't want to do. That's the whole reason we're doing this. So let's now take these 2 rifle divisions and move them over here. And with that, we will also take... How about you? Fine, I guess. Take this rifle brigade too. We'll take the Stalin Volunteer Rifle Corps. Move you up there. I'm gonna keep you guys right where you're at, I think. Some of you are a little higher on fatigue, so maybe we'll just take you units there. I think we might leave it like this. I don't know that I want to press an attack right now against that unit, but there's no fortification, 3-1. Yeah, we're going to just hold, I think. We're going to hold because on the one side we've got the 9th Panzer Division, and up here we've got the 251st Infantry Division. They could pretty well counterattack us here and have some success. So we're going to leave them be. We will move up this artillery unit to help with its operations. Here we have this mechanized unit. I'm just going to move them further up the front to be ready for the next time that I overstep how far I can get forces reinforced. Over here we have this rifle corps that has been on refit status. They look like they're pretty good to go. They are. So we're going to take them off refit. We're going to bring them down into the fray here. And then we will take probably these 2 stronger rifle divisions that we have. 1st Guards Rifle Division. Yeah, let's do that. Now if we take you... Nope, can't do anything there. Certainly do something here though. Yeah, let's push this unit back. They rout it. That's good news. That's good news. And then take these rifle divisions and leapfrog them up to the front. That brigade, I think, will move up as well. Alright. Continuing to push them back. That is the name of the game here. Can we now look at an attack here? No. No, don't have enough yet. Close. Don't have enough yet. Don't think we have anything in the rear here that we need to focus on. Yeah, no armies being moved up here. And I think we're just going to keep... Let's... I'm trying to think where it's going to be better to have here. We're going to move it right here. Okay. There's that. We're going to move up some of these HQs to... Is this a town? Move these up here. You're fine, I think. So the depot now is in Smolensk, even though we don't have the rail repaired yet. But that looks like that's what that guy's working on. Yes, he's repairing that there. Over here they're repairing. So we're getting there, but we probably will take one of the rail repair units that we have near Stalingrad, and we probably will move them over here to help with not only the Smolensk network, but also our push towards Idritsa. because that will be critical now in the next phase. It was certainly our priority for, say, turns 7 through 14 to take Stalingrad, get that all repaired. That has been the focus because of our push on Rostov. But now that is shifting north as we have success in Smolensk and as we need to push on towards Riga. So priorities are shifting. That's normal. Continuing on through these units, they can stay there. Don't have any luck here. Pretty well dug in along this line. We could maybe push back this Jaeger division. Let's see what that math looks like. It's almost 3-1. We're going to do it. They held, but we reduced their fortification levels at least. We lost 30 armored fighting vehicles. That's unfortunate. Here we have an opportunity to continue our push. Let's take the 399th Rifle Division and see if they can't break that unit. They did. So now what we can do is take... I selected the wrong unit again. Shoot. 6.7, so we need to get some reinforcements to help. That should be enough to hold that line. I think we will also take the 340... No, we're going to take the 12th Tank Corps up. And we're going to have them push and route them. Good. So now they have to find another unit to bring up here to hold the line. Maybe it'll end up being that Panzer Division. Over here, I think we will take this entire stack and move them up. We do have... So a lot happened here. This used to be an entire front that they had with these two fortification hexes. That is now no longer the case. So we're going to move up this rifle division. One of the reasons here is really to kind of take the hexes as well in the zone of control. Take that rifle division there. Yeah, we're going to start coming in to the rear of these units. Right? You can go there, you there. So that's working out quite well, and we could probably even push them back, I think. 3-1. Let's come back to that. Up here, we don't have an opportunity to push back this unit, but we certainly could here. So let's move these two units up. And then if we attack with all three, we have enough to push them. They retreated, so that was a success. Now we'll move up these rifle divisions. Defensive value in these hexes is 10. I think what we will do is take the 97th and move them down as well. Alright. Yes, we're going to keep pushing on this road rail here. We do have enough to move you both up, so we're going to do that. Yep, there we go. Defensive value is plenty. Okay, we're breaking through. Look at this spearhead. This is good news. So back to our considerations of what we do here. I don't know if it's better to force them back or to push here. I think we're going to push here because I would really like to do a lot of damage to that Sturm Brigade that they have there. So if we take these 3 stacks and attack, it's 3-1, and they both retreat it. Good. And yes, they have almost no armor elements left there. That's really good news. We don't quite have enough to move into that hex. We're going to be patient there. We're now going to take these two and see if we can't push back here, I think, instead of pushing here. Yeah, let's do this. They retreat it. Good. What happens if we do go here? 3-1, let's do it. They held. That's too bad. So they held as is. Now we don't have a way to get any hits up there. It's unfortunate. Let's take this 357th Rifle Division. Let's have you attack here, I think. They rout it. Okay, good. And do we have an opportunity actually to take Orel? We do. 2-1. Do it. Do it. Oh, we got it. We pushed them out, finally. Look at that. They rout it. We have taken Orel. That is wonderful news. Them there. This was an unexpected surprise. Certainly. Very unexpected. We're going to come back into this hex, even though we did just get knocked out of it. So let's do a quick recap of their counterattacks. So they'd pushed here, but we held, right? They had 170 armored fighting vehicles. I mean, that was really the Das Reich SS Panzergrenadier Division that contributed so much armor there. Then they attacked here. Again, Das Reich SS Panzergrenadier Division. They lost another 30 armor. That's very significant. And let's take a look at what those elements were. And what we see is that they now only have one functional Tiger, and it was disrupted because they had 5 damaged and 4 destroyed. So that is a huge loss for them. And then when we look at their Panzer IVs, they're down to less than 20. And for the Das Reich SS Panzergrenadier Division, that is a heavy loss. And we traded 50 guns for that. I'm fine. That okay. Almost 2-1 odds in their favor in terms of men. Again, not a problem. They also pushed here, and they were actually successful in this hex. And they used the 11th Panzer Division and elements of the 14th Panzer Corps. We did destroy 30 of their armored fighting vehicles. We lost 50 of our own. So again, I'll take those odds against the German player every day. And most of their losses came in Panzer IIIs. So that's not as exciting. We lost 30 T-34s, but still really degrading the fighting strength of the 11th Panzer Division. It is going to be difficult for them to just replace 30 armored fighting vehicles at this stage in the war. They were successful here as well. Or not. Is it here? Yeah, it looks like we actually held them here. So maybe it was over in this hex, sorry. And we lost some armor elements, but it was pretty much 1-1. Looks like they're starting to use some ground support, which was a little interesting. Yeah. So it looks like they were not very successful. They lost quite a few to flak as well. So when we look, let's do this. Let's look at number of units lost by air. None. We had some disrupted, but we didn't lose any. We look at guns. Okay, so it looks like they went after some of our field guns and artillery pieces and mortars with their air units, but not armored fighting vehicles. And here is actually where we were pushed back. And in this one, we did manage to take out, again, more of their armor elements. This was the 6th Panzer, mostly. And they had 20 Tigers. And they had 3 damaged, 1 disrupted. So we didn't get to take out as many of the Tigers. But we took out some Panzer IVs and quite a few Panzer IIIs. And we traded T-60s and Valentine 3s. The Valentine 3 was another Lend-Lease. I think it'd be classified as a light tank, technically, from the British. So that's fine. So we have had some great success here in and around Orel. I think looking at the front line, I'm not going to get too aggressive into this hex this turn. I'm just happy that right now we've taken the city, and look at this. Sure, we don't have much recon going on right now, but we have just an open road in front of us. That is such a huge win. And this is why in the previous episode we talked about the deployment hex of where our reserve units would come from, right? Instead of being Moscow, we moved it to be Rzhev, which is just a little closer to where we're going to need things for the advance on Riga, right? But really, Smolensk is ultimately where I want to have that for, say, the next 6 months or so. But before we can do that, first we need to secure the perimeter of Smolensk. But we also need to push this entire line here. And if we can connect Smolensk, Orel, and over here, Smolensk to Polotsk and Idritsa, that then means Smolensk can be a bit of a hub for the entire northern half of the entire campaign map. Right? That's my idea there. Continuing to look in and around Orel, I don't see too many opportunities for us to press our advantage here. I think these units are all going to start withdrawing now that we've had this breakout to their left flank. And when they do that, then we're going to have some rifle divisions that are really in great condition to be in high speed pursuit behind their retreat. So we're just going to leave these guys be for now. And we're coming up at a pretty good time to end the episode. So just want to say, as always, thank you for watching the video and the series, giving it a listen. Should you have any questions, feedback, or comments for me, please leave them in the comments section. I will do my best to address them. Specifically, if you have questions about the game or game mechanics, even if I don't have the answer right at hand, certainly we can try to get you the answer. There are a lot of experts sitting in that YouTube channel that have been helping me as well with some tips for you. So with that, hope you have a great day, strategy gamers. Bye now.